The amount of XP needed to level up was ridiculous.
But one thing that's not fun is Halo Infinite's Battle Pass.
Halo Infinite's Battle Pass is bullshit. I get that this is a free-to-play game. Here's a newsflash. They made the game free-to-play. Challenge swaps and double XP tokens. Barf.
But 800,000 XP in a 9-week period, and you're mainly just getting filler content with icons, voice lines, and sprays.
Nothing better than progressing through a whole play session of Call of Duty just to get a charm.
That's for Cold War? Why do they offer you to buy things on the menu for the wrong game? Who does this? What?
For those unfamiliar with Battle Passes, it's a monetization system where players earn upgrades and cosmetics by simply playing the game and completing various challenges. Generally, Battle Passes are seasonal, being active for 3 to 4 months, and are then replaced by a new season of content which starts the process all over again. Battle Passes are a way for companies to keep players hooked, as they're incentivized to spend time on one game to fully progress through its Battle Pass. One of the earliest examples of a Battle Pass is in Dota 2. Leading up to the biggest tournament of the year, the International, Valve released the Compendium on May 6, 2013. The Compendium was a Battle Pass that slowly provided players with extra in-game cosmetics, such as a new courier skin. But apart from just playing the game to progress through the Compendium, players could also do things like predict tournament results. The result was an all-in-one answer to many of the community's desires. Along with providing fans with some extra perks during the tournament, 25% of the Compendium's $10 price tag went directly to the prize pool, which provides an extra little incentive to teams competing as well. So how successful was the first ever Compendium/Battle Pass? In the end, it added $1,274,380 to the initial $1.6 million prize pool, making it the largest prize pool for an esports tournament up until that point. Eventually, the record would be broken just a year later by the International 2014, which saw a whopping $9,323,977 added to the prize pool through that year's Compendium. Year after year, the Compendium has proven to be a huge success for the Dota 2 scene, as 8 of the top 10 prize pools in esports history are owned by the International. While the Compendium was a proof of concept for the new monetization model, the Battle Pass really exploded in 2018 with the release of one of the biggest games ever, Fortnite. Fortnite became a global sensation for the simple fact that it was free to play. All you had to do was hit download and you could start playing almost immediately. Despite being free to play, you could spend money on things like loot boxes and the Fortnite Battle Pass, which cost $10. This Battle Pass, much like the Compendium, gave access to tons of cosmetics and items as long as you kept playing the game. If you managed to finish one season's Battle Pass, you would unlock the next season's Battle Pass, incentivizing you to grind until completion. According to analyst Michael Pachter, the first day of Fortnite Season 3 Battle Pass saw 5 million Battle Pass purchases, totaling more than $50 million. I don't know about you, but making $50 million in one day sounds pretty good. To put it lightly, Pachter said, quote, "That's a good business model. I think a lot of publishers are going to copy that and move to cosmetics so nobody complains about pay to win." Almost every multiplayer game from VALORANT to Teamfight Tactics has a battle pass of some sort. Unfortunately, not all games are as sensible as Fortnite when it comes to monetizing, and many battle passes have become a cash grab at the expense of player experience. Frustrating challenges, unreasonable time commitments, predatory practices. So how did we get here? After Fortnite proved the model to be a good one, why are so many companies squeezing their player base dry? First, it's important to acknowledge the big monetization method that the Battle Pass replaced: loot boxes. For the most part, the word loot box brings to mind other words like overpriced, rigged, and straight up gambling. As a matter of fact, governments around the world started looking at loot boxes as a form of gambling, with some, like the Belgian government, banning them outright. The fact that loot boxes were becoming so polarizing was a big reason that the Battle Pass became so popular so quickly. Unfortunately, as of late, developers are finding ways to squeeze players for more and more money. A great example of this is League of Legends and its event passes. It started as a battle pass of sorts, with missions that provided rewards and the ability to earn special tokens to buy event-exclusive items. Initially, the pass had amazing value for even casual players, thanks to the variety of ways you could complete missions and how easy it was to farm tokens just by playing the game. Unfortunately, Riot began gradually nerfing the pass, taking away incentive to play game modes like ARAM, and reducing the rewards earned through challenges as a whole. On top of that, Riot made it more difficult for you to earn tokens by basing points earned on the length of each game. The community did the math and realized that the new system provided fewer tokens for more game time, especially because points didn't carry over. So even if you played a 40-minute game and only needed a couple of points, most of that game time was effectively worthless. Another prime example of developers squeezing their player base is 343 Industries, who seriously butchered Halo Infinite's initial Battle Pass system. At $10 for the base Battle Pass, or $10 plus a premium fee to instantly earn 25 levels, the Battle Pass seems pretty standard on the surface. However, the way you progressed through the Battle Pass was just not fun for anyone. While most Battle Passes allow you to make progress just by playing the game, doesn't really matter the mode, single player, multiplayer, co-op, Halo Infinite only allowed you to progress through challenges that were fairly hard to complete. In addition, rewards were few and far between, especially in the case of the free Battle Pass, and the rewards just weren't very good for the premium Battle Pass. It didn't even award credits to players, meaning if you completed the Battle Pass once, you'd have to shell out more money next season to start the process over again. In general, it felt like the Battle Pass was tacked on thoughtlessly, giving crappy items while forcing players to buy actual good stuff in the store. While 343 quickly responded in Season 2 by providing more challenges that were a little bit easier to complete, and frequent rewards for all tiers, it still showed that it's incredibly easy to make a Battle Pass that's a chore more than anything else. But there was one other key issue with the Halo Infinite Battle Pass that's prevalent in most other games. They take too long to grind. While the job of a Battle Pass is to keep a player focused on your game, many feel that it has the opposite effect on them instead. For the average person with a job and other responsibilities, the 1 or 2 hours of free time you have each day just doesn't feel like enough time to complete a season's worth of content. Even while a game like Apex Legends is fairly generous with the number of challenges it offers, they typically take quite a while to complete and make the game feel more like a second job than a leisure activity. With how prevalent and effective Battle Passes have been in recent years, many game developers feel a growing pressure to adopt the monetization model in order to attract and retain all of their players' free time. As Rob Fahey, an editor for GameIndustry.biz puts it, quote, "There's going to be inevitable attrition from this business model overall, and many Battle Passes will fail simply because they're going head-to-head with a rival in a zero-sum competition for players' time and attention, not just their money." Ultimately, this competition for the player's attention ends up contributing to a toxic and stressful work environment in many game companies today. Take Fortnite as an example once again. When Fortnite started to become really popular, there was a huge demand for a constant stream of new content. This demand requires a lot of work, and things hit a boiling point when a report came out that revealed employees at Epic Games working 100-hour work weeks. So not only were players getting burnt out on Battle Passes, those implementing them were being worked to the bone. The current free-to-play service model is clearly a good one for making money, at least in multiplayer games. But what about single player? Daniel Joseph of Manchester Metropolitan University says, quote, "The dominance of the free-to-play model also suggests that large, narrative games are going to increasingly be considered an unacceptable risk for the digital games industry to produce. It is not that they will disappear, but that they will be given less priority and resources with time, in part because they are not as contingent and less likely to become a series of disguised shops." After all, game companies are businesses first and foremost, and if they are not making money for shareholders, what's the point? What this has resulted in is many developers shoehorning Battle Passes into games that really don't need them. A recent example of this is Overwatch. In Overwatch 1, players were granted free loot boxes just for playing games, while also giving the option for people to spend money on more loot boxes to increase the odds of getting a good skin. While we've already talked about the predatory practices of loot boxes, in Overwatch 1, there was a pretty good balance where casual players had a chance to earn cosmetics without spending money, while whales could roll until they had every skin and emote in the game. Unfortunately, Overwatch 2 replaced the old loot box system with a new Battle Pass, a change that has been widely criticized by casual players who simply don't have time to grind for skins. Instead of receiving free stuff after each game, they're expected to grind through a set progression system that heavily favors those without jobs or family responsibilities. Once again, the goal is to retain player time and attention, not just their money. So where do we go from here? Despite all of the issues listed above, it's likely that battle passes are going to be around for the foreseeable future. So what can we as consumers do to make sure we don't get sucked in? Fahey summarizes the current situation, saying, quote, "Battle passes are the current meta of the industry's business model. But, like all metas, this one will pass. There are already too many of these things, and unlike most forms of monetization, they're strictly a zero-sum game. Buying battle passes in multiple games is a time commitment almost nobody can afford. And after watching the clock run out on a battle pass that you've barely been able to enjoy due to work or personal commitments, few players will be willing to make a similar purchase again. That's not to say all battle passes will disappear, as some games have created and maintained a great battle pass system that their respective community is satisfied with, such as Fortnite and Genshin Impact. But when every game has a battle pass, players are going to start missing the variety of being able to jump from game to game without feeling like they're being forced into a situation where they're not allowed to try other titles. Either way, with only so much time available each day, the reality is that we're eventually going to reach a breaking point. So the next time your favorite game starts a new battle pass season, ask yourself if you really need to buy it and whether the content is truly worth it. Making smart decisions for your wallet and for your personal time will make the gaming experience so much more fun, especially when you don't have to worry about finding the optimal way to grind through a battle pass. What are your thoughts on battle passes? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Are they a way to make games interesting, or a sneaky way to make sure you're not playing anyone else's games? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. My name's Jonah. See you next time. This video is made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. Massive thank you to everyone on this list, and shout out to B, Cloud, QB, Foxy, Kiaostick, Pachanas, Shampoo, Spartacus, and Yashichi for being platinum supporters. And an extra special shout out to Marco for being our diamond supporter. Happy New Year, guys! Here's to a great 2023. If you want to talk to us, check out our Discord. If you want to support our channel and get info on unreleased videos, check out our Patreon. If you want to help us out in a different way, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell to stay up to date is also appreciated. My name is Jonah. Thanks for watching.